Your noggin ready to watch Dibbler in action.
Honey, I got what you want.
We hit one here.
Give me all of your love,
Dibbler
it's a
stick.
turning cut.
We hit
It's what you do to me, babe, I can guarantee.
ready. Hit
Honey, I got what you need. Under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me lies now, I always get mine. Don't play with me.
action.
Do you want it?
Delicata. I was like, heck yeah.
No. Can you handle it?
Got me a stick. Oh, that's still too small. Moment of truth. Ah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Give me your love, no holding back, no. We could take it to the stars where you wanna go.
Magic. It's got this really nice ergonomic curve to it. That's wondrous.
Honey, I got what you want. Under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me.
Dibbler sticks. Never did see one like that for sale, did you?
I always get
Gander your eyes on that. Once you plant potatoes somewhere, you never get rid of them. Look at all that garlic. These are all propagated from bulbils. They've just been growing under my skeena cherry there. Is it a skeena? So I just pulled that back a little bit to about 2 feet. So a little more space for the onions. Onions are good around cherry trees, I hear. Feels right. It's a pretty good crop on this cherry. Hope they don't go wormy. I didn't do a lower pruning on this one. Probably be smart if I want to get a net, you know, to keep any worms from happening in them. That's nice fresh garlic like that too. You can cut it off about there and just peel it back a little bit. Chop it up in for stir fry. So all this garlic is going to break down and make an anti-parasitic compost right in this whole area. It's going to smother the weeds out and it's going to keep the unwanted insects away. I hope. Look how thick that is. Sweet. Making do with what you got. Ah, stick. Action. Really works well doing it this way. A bit of aged cow manure on top. We're laughing to the root cellar. Wish I had a root cellar. So yeah, I think I'm putting in about a tablespoon. Wow, these are gonna be super onions. Planting nice hybrid storage ones here, yellow variety called Candy. Found it's good to get a little on around the rim. Oh, that is heavy. These are Candy. They're really fattening up pretty quick here. Probably pull them right out. Yeah, good looking onion. Guess I'm going wild this time around with the onions. I didn't cut the tops. Bongo. Oh, that's so satisfying. Putting them in there. Look at these bags. Wow. You want your bulb to be bulbing out of the ground. Maybe not quite as vigorous as the other, these hybrid ones, but it's pretty beautiful. All right, 99 onions just planted supremely well. So I'm giving them quite a bit of water so that the hole, there's a bit of a space on some of them, so that will collapse and fill in. As soon as the days start getting shorter, long day onions will start bulbing, and at that point, you know, it's said if you cut your greens, your tops, it can help trigger bulb growth. You do need to be careful though if they're really large onions and like sweet onions, not to cut the tops and water get in there because they will rot out potentially. I kind of like not cutting too many. Like if you want some green onions, that is one major benefit of cutting tops. A good healthy onion that's just left alone and has enough nutrients and microbiology in the soil and all the good stuff there, and enough water, I feel like it would outperform one that's like hacked at, you know? Last year I didn't cut that many tops on my onions when they were growing. I always cut them, you know, when I'm propagating them, getting them going, just because it's easy to handle, deal with, and keep them low, and so they're standing upright. But yeah, I'll probably let them go wild this year, I think. It's nice to have the perennial onions for green onions. Today I was just doing some more polyculture type bed with a good new friend. But I think I want to do more of that, although I just did a one-of-a-kind bed. What do you call it? Don't even know. It's polyculture monocrop. It's the mini monocrop, but you know, there's other plants. Yeah, see, not really, because I got a hyssop there and carrot and some volunteer chamomile, so, and clover. See, I'm still leaving that. See, I'm still a permie at heart, even when I try to do my monoculture, my mini monoculture. All the garlic under a cherry tree. I just found a meal in the ground in spring. Look at these beauties. Tray of last year's scallions. Someone was telling me good to plant a ring of allium around your cherry tree. Ideally, I would do a perennial, like a walking onion, but I've got these, so I'm gonna put these around this cherry here. Just doing a little transplanting here. Peppers, some hybrid short day broccolis, and collards from saved seed. Don't want to push cucumbers in very hard, just real nice and light. This is a very heavy potting soil, so it weighs like way more. These are going to be beauties. That way they have a lot of their growing fertilizer already in there. Also, I can plant this then in places that doesn't necessarily have really good soil because it has all this growing medium with fertilizer in there. So that is one advantage of doing, you know, real large containers. You know, when the nighttime temperatures are ideally 12 degrees, but that's why I do grow a lot of cukes in greenhouse usually. They do the best for me, but you know, outdoors they do all right too. Especially with cukes, I like to get a large container on them. That way they can hold until it really warms up. See, it's grown into all 3 cells. Broccoli with sea buckthorn. I think these are some of the nicest broccoli starts I've ever done. Look at the girth on that stem. Looks so healthy. It's so juicy. I think I'll do a nice full row and then pull the branches back a little bit. Or I could just prune it. All right, I think I'm gonna turn these into clones. Also got a couple of rose clippings. I just cut the blossoms off and scrape it a little bit where there's some nodes. And I'll just stick it in behind where it's a bit shaded. I already put one in. Try another one over here. I like to put them in real deep. Oh wow, that one's going in really deep. Best time to do clones right in the ground. Spring, even earlier spring is ideal. These sucker quite well, quite easily. I believe these are all males here. I have one male in the center here for pollination, but I want to propagate some more female because they don't seem to be suckering that much yet. I'm sure they will in the future, but I've got all these clippings, so I'm just gonna stick these in the ground and see if they take, because I want to start doing a lot more live fencing. Actually, when there's a bit larger branch, it actually peels, and then it's doing the scraping for you. There's lots of nodes there, so I do it real simple. I like cloning right in the ground. I found it works better with a lot of things. It's because it stays consistent. I don't have to monitor it. Just put it in a shady spot. Or you can take this, whatever, shears or a knife and scrape it a little like that. Goji berry trellis here, and I'm pretty sure I stuck these in the autumn, and sure enough, no problem. Look at that. I've got all these ones I did last spring. They're all coming back. There's like 8 there, gojis. And so I think I'm just gonna put these sea buckthorn right here because it's good, easy access. Look at the size of these strawberries just growing in the wood chips. Got an extra wide bed right here, almost 5 foot clear. But I don't fear because I got long, long arms coming right out of my body, right here. So for the next installment, we have Rosa di Inverno. You're not getting ready to watch Dibbler in action.
Honey, I got what you want. Give me all of your love, 'cause it's burning hot. It's what you do to me, babe, I can guarantee. Honey, I got what you need. Under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me lies now, I always get mine. Don't play with me. Do you want it? Can you feel me? No, can you handle it? Right? Do you want it? Don't put your love on hold. I can't take it anymore. Put your love on me.
Well, the winter keeper variety, they didn't get very structurally sound for transplanting. Had a few that kind of ripped a little bit. I wish I could get them all to be like this. These are the Cylindra. I gotta find the secret to get them all looking like this. And they just go in so beautifully. Plant them deep. Yeah, for the most part they turn out. I like to do some direct seeding beets as well.
I've got a log in here somewhere, so.
Swish, swash, swoosh around the cherry tree. What are you talking about? Look at those broccolis. Look at that. Look how thick and lush they are. Some good soil in here. Ooh-wee. So I think some of these Napa cabbages are gonna need to come out of here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with these. I'm just gonna put them down here for now. Oh, look at the mycelium there. Look at all that. And the roots are going too. And I gotta plant a crop here that doesn't get slugs. It's interesting though that they don't seem to like the lettuce nearly as much. That has been my experience though with the Napa cabbage. They're not even touching the lettuce and they've been here longer. Put the Napas in and it's all of a sudden like, oh, there's slug pressure here. That's funny. Got some bark behind here to pull the logs up to where I want them, kind of pull them out a little bit. Fill that up with some of this wood chip soil. So if you got curved logs, way to straighten them is just do a relief cut and then stomp on them. You could do a couple. That'll straighten it out, but they'll still be attached so it doesn't, move around as much. Oh, that's pretty far along. I think they want fruit. All right, King Stropharia. This is my first time introducing mushroom spawn into the garden. From what I've read and understand, they aren't all that particular about their growing medium. You can use like a softwood wood chip. That's what I'm pretty much using here. New or a little bit older. I hear if they are, a bit conditioned already, with the other mycelium in there, there could be a little competition, but especially with the wine cap here, it's not as crucial. And I'm mainly interested in soil health and helping other plants versus growing a really, sterile crop that's 100% for consumption. I'm sure I will eat some. I like mushrooms, but I'm not like crazy about them. That's my primary reason for getting them. I want to help the trees and bushes and plants. I'm going to do some under some fruit trees, although a lot of my trees already have pretty thick plant guilds, 3 to 6 inches, they say, and definitely want to keep it moist and somewhat shaded area. So under the blueberries here, I'm going to interplant with some other annuals, I think, to provide just a little bit more shade. Hopefully I get a fall crop that comes out in fruits. I'd like to do some inoculation chambers, or is that how you say it? Probably a little different, but like tubs of sterile medium wood chips and straw, and propagate it, and then you can make a lot more and then spread it after. But for the first time here, I'm going for it. I'm really going to keep an eye on it, try to keep it moist, because I hear of some people doing this and just not much happens. They 10 by 10, 5 by 10, I think. Got a bunch of lettuce in here and fava beans. Strawberries are coming through. Blueberries are looking good. They're really flowering. The bees are on them. I'm going to scoop some of these up over top, and then I'm going to do probably a little bit of spawn down here, because that's where it's moist. Like, I realize this might dry out a little faster up here because it's like a raised bed, but I want to get them under the blueberries. But down here I think it's going to be really good. It's really deep wood chips here. Another reason I'm putting these logs here is so you can see the blueberries here when they're transplanted. Look, they're actually, the root clump ball there with all the original soil is actually needs to be buried a little bit more. This will enable me to be able to, pile on more organic matter, fill them up in the back here. Let's get some right under there. Yeah. Thank you, beautiful. That's gonna hold so much more water up here for my blueberries now this year. I think they're gonna be a nice crop. Another layer of soaking before I add the straw. Just gonna use some of these wood chips, put them in a wheelbarrow in case I need them for the other spawn. Since it is so deep here, I'm just gonna replace them with some butt chop. Maybe I will put a little bit more up around my blues. Zinnias in the pathway. I'm not going to add any fertilizer, even though it's pretty wood chippy. I don't want to harm the mushroom spawn. Not sure how that will react with fertilizer, so got a flower on the top already there. Doing the tree plugs for a few different things this year. It's pretty sweet. These are California Giant. More radishes under the cherry tree. I feel like they're gonna do good there. Like, these are pretty hefty seeds. They should poke up through. Put a bunch of mulch on, which you need a bunch of mulch for the mushroom spawn. Got my little ring of onions to try to start protecting the cherry from worms. Supposed to help. I think I'll just let these go to seed and hopefully to keep propagating themselves here. She's making some fruits, some drupes, as a matter of fact. Wow. Pure white. That's major. I wonder if I should be crumbling that up much or just kind of leaving it like that. Get a little bit of a mulch layer. Here, right. Got me one of these hoses. Yeah, let's soak this down first. Wow. Oh, wood chip. And my plants are falling down. I'm so excited. More layering, better. I know I saw some videos of like soaking your straw down. I'll put a little spritzer on here and just let it this little mulch around the edges and everywhere here. Might as well pop a few zinnias in here as well. Move on to the next place. Right along there, I think. Apple tree there too, I think. Mushrooms. Oh, nice smell. Still got it, bits. Yeah. I dumped a whole bunch of kitchen scrap compost in here. These potatoes are just coming up. I want to get these mushrooms like close around my trees. But a lot of my trees have pretty thick gills. Piece of driftwood. Under my Asian pear, get some of the spawn going. Put a lot of wood chip up on this tree last fall. Bunch of green mulch and wood chip. There's a lot of volunteers under here. Carrots and the blackberries are propagating. Thornless blackberries. This is the wood chip I dug up from the pathway next to the blueberries. It was so deep. Green garlics, just use the whole stalk. I'll put a little bit of straw on here later, I think. Italian plum is blooming profusely this year. They ought to do well in here because it's real nice and shaded and damp. Got one more bit for one more tree, I think. My peach tree, I'm so sad. I pruned her. She has multiple leads and I topped them, like a number of them. She's not happy. I'll say that. No flowers, just a little bit of green growth and very late. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'll be so sad if she dies. I think I'm gonna use some spawn on her. Hopefully help her a little bit. I've got all this garlic here. I think I'm gonna pull some of that out. It just propagates so prolifically. I have so much planted that's nice and fat. Look at this volunteer raspberry. I'm gonna leave it. It is flowering quite early. I'm gonna see what it is. It has a few little prickles. Garlic, no, we want so much garlic. It's just growing everywhere now. So I leave it or I miss one or two and it just propagates like crazy. The violets are really taking over too. They're beautiful, but I really need to get some more wood chips on the property. I've got to put some here because this gets really moist in the spring. I put some other spawn here last year. I don't see anything coming up yet. Definitely could use a couple more bags. Got a lot of area. I got a lot of area to cover, baby. Must be some song. So I'm doing a little experiment here. I've got 5 jalapenos selected out, 5 really nice ones, and I'm potting them up to, this is about a 1 gallon almost, maybe just shy of. And that way I can plant these out at a later date in a new area, say like the Polyculture terrace garden. I still need to do a lot of work there, and so if I have a few things in large containers, I can use them up there like at a later date. Fun. You might get the long version, or you might get the chop. Check these out. I just brought these down from the Lighthouse Amaranthus. This variety, Hot Biscuits, is the most vigorous I've really noticed so far. Even the other ones, well, the red one's okay, but there's another one that's kind of, it's wilting. It's getting that dampening off almost. And so, yeah, these are like the gold ones. And I got some feverfew here. I've got more flowers and a few things, and stevia up there still. A bunch more things to bring out. But this is exciting. I thought I'd try these starts this year. Garden Sweet hybrid cukes. They are going into this pretty large container here. It's nice to have some things in bigger containers until I can get to them. Gander your vision on those, babes. Excelsior hybrid. Expensive seed. Early fortune. Open pollinated. Should save seed from those guys. Oh, look at these. These are Waltham butternut. Went into the 1 gallon. Oh my. Look at these spaghettis. That way I can pretty much just plant this anywhere, even if it's not that great of soil, and they should do pretty well still. Used in Italy for ravioli, and it's a culinary, beautiful pumpkin. I only ended up with 1. I've planted a few more. We'll see if they come up. I saw the bush variety of delicata. I was like, heck yeah, 88 days. I like bush varieties of squash. Got 2 climbing zucchini this year. I'm gonna save seed. Uh-oh, we have some mystery squash.
There's a new day and